Welcome to the Science of Mental Physics, practice of the 8 key breaths. My name is Jody Curtis, and I am a Reverend of the Science of Mental Physics, also known as a Preceptor of Light. I teach a breath class at the Institute of Mental Physics in Joshua Tree, California, and decided to make some videos of the demonstrations of the 8 key breaths. They're a little bit tricky to learn just by looking and reading the Initiate Group course or the books. And so, with that said, there's a few pointers to remember when practicing these breaths. The science of mental physics is a science of feeling. So, really importantly, after doing each of the breaths, you want to just observe inside yourself and feel what each of these breaths does inside the body. The point of doing the systematic series of the 8 key breaths is to clean the magnet within and clean out any old patterns, habits, thought patterns, anything that's no longer serving you, whether from this incarnation or another, anything that we're carrying that is blocking us from receiving pure source energy and accessing our light within, accessing the light of God, being able to channel that through us and shine out into the world our best selves. So these 8 key breaths activates the entire endocrine system in the body, and you may have heard the word prana or chi. It's really just life force energy, soul food, like God energy. And we're literally swimming in it. It exists in the oxygen, but it isn't the oxygen. One of the quickest ways to gather prana and store it up in our cells is to just simply have the intention in each breath that's what we're doing. As we're breathing in oxygen, we're also breathing in this vital nutrient that is our life force energy. Okay, so a few things to remember. One is called the secret switch, and that simply is just placing the tongue on the back of the 2 front teeth as you're inhaling through your nose. All the breaths are inhaled through the nose, exhale through the mouth. And as important as getting a solid, strong breath in, deep down into the belly, up into the chest, the upper chest, big sniff at the top, the throat. You want to fill your entire being with as much air as possible. And then on the exhale, which looks like this, you want to squeeze all the old, stale air out of the bottom of the lungs. And then when that's complete, when you've squeezed out every last drop of air out of your body, you want to take a little breath and then relax completely. So each of the breaths, each of the standing breaths are done with an extremely rigid posture. The fingertips are pulling downward toward the ground. So at the same time as you're feeling an upward pulling sensation, your head is pulling toward the sky, you're feeling an opposite feeling with the fingertips pulling downward to the earth. Okay, so all the breaths are done with the feet. Well, actually, I'm sorry, most of the breaths are done with the heels touching, knees snapped back, buttocks are completely tight, shoulders back and down, your head and neck is always loose. And this position is the starting position for most of the 8 key breaths. One of the tricky things when you're first learning the breath work is on the inhale, it's easy to want to let your body just relax. As soon as you start to inhale, that tension wants to go away. So you want to make sure that you're really holding on to that tense posture in the body, pulling downward on the fingertips, buttocks staying tight as you're inhaling all the way in, all the way up, big sniff at the top, and holding it. And then when we exhale, the same situation happens in the beginning until you make a habit of this. Your body wants to just let loose. So as you exhale, you are maintaining that complete rigid position. When you exhale all your air out, again, Little breath, and a long, deep sigh, relaxing entirely, coming right down, and then just feeling that breath inside yourself. What is happening inside yourself after gathering all that oxygen and then letting it all the way out, and then feeling what that prana is doing inside your system, inside your body, watching the Creator at work inside your temple, your body temple. Okay, so the secret switch, it's a little bit tricky because the exhale, when you exhale, the tongue tries, for me it feels like the tongue tries to stay connected to the two teeth, and then the air forcefully kind of flops the tongue down a little bit, so the air comes forcefully out while the tongue is trying to stay connected. It's a sound similar to CH, like shh. That's how it occurs for me. It just takes a little bit of practice, and you can try different ways to see what works for you. So again, this is the inhale, is through the nose. Big deep belly breath, middle chest, all the way at the top, big sniff. And then the exhale. Squeezing all the air out. I'll briefly go over this as I guide you through each of the 8 key breaths, but this is the video that explains the main pointers for each of the breaths that we're going to go into. Okay, and let's see, one other thing is before each breath is the thought, and the thought is just simply giving thanks for the breath, which without we would have no life. Dingle says, from the first breath of a newborn baby to the last gasp of a dying man, life is a series of breaths. I always like that. Okay, so congratulations on finding yourself here and wanting to learn a little bit more about the science of mental physics, and may it reward you greatly as it has me. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to subscribe to the channel, I will be posting more videos about mental physics, about Dingle, about the breath work, about prana, about anything else I'm inspired to make a video for. So thanks again for watching. Have an excellent day.